multiple drop spots, and they will be joined by a bunch of other teams because they're not the only team that drops there. OUG, they just start out with purple armor. That's how this game starts for them. A purple dual sword, purple armor. Oh no, my word.
It is that they have full control of Grove. At the moment, Biter are going to contest them for it. The reason is that all three of these buildings, top, middle, and lower, when you break those boxes, you get money. You also get items from them. That's how they've been able to pick up so much loot so quickly on. The problem is that Jinyu is actually falling incredibly low. Will be able to push onto Maraman using those dual blades to such devastating degree. As Zinyu, despite falling low in that first opening, going to be able to survive OUG's SS, taking it upon themselves to lead the third-partying Ventus away from the majority of his team. As XEG have now also come to play. There's a reason that these teams want this space. They want the coins. They want to be able to roll for Soul Jades before that first gate of Yang spawns up so they can have that leg up, but they're going to have to pay in blood for that privilege, as Nai HQ is under the fire of that Akos ultimate, just doing so much damage. You want to talk about value for rage? There it is, Sanzi, with the increased mobility as well as that massive damage burst that Akos provides in the ultimate form, rips through OUG and absolutely dismantles them.
That's so sad as well for OUG because OSS is their player who got that good loot start. He got the purple armor, the purple weapon, and then immediately is hounded and taken down. Just so many teams in the area. This is a absolutely bloodthirsty start to the game. OG did not want to be wasting any time. They wanted to get those kills. They wanted to get those loots and snowball the game after what was an amazing game number 3, but has crumbled a little bit for them, losing SS at the beginning of this one. As Sleepwalker are keeping the chase up onto Bowder here. Seeing if WBG can close that gap. PP with the purple armor and the blue nunchucks is pretty heavily set up here. It's actually a purple pole sword as well for Sleepwalker, so very effective. Is going to look to try and get the lockdown with that Viper stun. Is going to connect Moon, not breaking that one. Down they go. WBG able to pick those kills up. And now may chase a little bit further in as Ventus WX98 was watching the fight from a rooftop, but not hidden. So he's just going to take himself a smack. Have Ventus all got purple armor? I feel like they're all geared up right now, which is crazy at this point in the game. Absolutely
they also
mad
have
luck.
their ults. That's more worrying.
That is 2 WBG members down. They have 2 people with purple armor and purple weapons.
Yeah, well, one of them they picked up from OUG. Remember, OUG found purple armor very quickly on, but then Sandy just dismantles SS who had it. Were able to pick up one from there. And then they've covered a lot of ground too, with some really high tier cloves. To be able to pick themselves up a second set of purple, as Ventus Z will be able to take down WBG's PP. Bowder's Mauman not going to be able to find that connection of the Viper ultimate, as they are able to reach and TP outside of it. And the thing is that Ventus still have ultimates to play with as well. They've burnt the Wuchen and TP, yes, but I believe WX98 still has that Viper ultimate. So unfortunately, Bowder, even if they know where they Wuchen and TP to, can't push that engagement, otherwise they're walking right into the stun setup, as TE have also been able to equip themselves with loot, but not kills, as Bowder actually chose to rubber band back onto Ventus. Oh, this could be devastating. There's the Viper ultimate that we were talking about. As WX98 does go down, but Sans is able to trade. Lion TT falls. Sansi, however, isolated away from his team, might be caught out. Silence does connect as well onto Sansi, so he's not able to use any of his utility to make a break for it. As Marin's able to push onto ZU now that the Akos has been moved away, but Sansi coming back in with the ultimate, looks for the connection onto the members of Bowder. The more members that he hits, the more damage that he does. Windwall comes through, but Sansi has Marin incredibly low. Now Marin has to step up to the plate to absorb the damage, but Sansi with the jump pushes past his head and still is able to find the great he's able to actually pick up the Soul Bloom and replenishes health, gets the uppercut confirmation into the hit, and Sansi walks away with the clutch.
That was so insane. How did he pull that off? Agos, I mean, so much damage, man.
About it.
That's
it's
2 times.
It's just the jump in to confirm.
the Akos value, it's insane. That's twice we've seen it this one game.
Ventus are just getting spoon-fed kills. They're 9 kills in, by the way, already. Like, this is an insane amount of kills. Somewhere, somehow J-Team have been able to pick up 3 kills. So it's at least they started off fairly strong. It's TE this time who started off a little bit slower, a little bit more calm. And GS are actually already out of the lobby. That is them eliminated as our first team out very early on into this game. As looks like TE are on the hunt here. See if they can find any teams in the area. As Alliance are just clinging to the walls and waiting to see if they can get those skill rushes off onto anybody who comes and springs their trap. It does look like the Sandstorm comes out. TE have found out onto these lot. They get themselves a whole bunch of damage off immediately with that longsword. BBV, they're just grouped. This is so easy here for TE with this comp to be able to find this one. As in comes the interrupts, in comes the follow-ups, in comes the finish-ups. As down, TE will take the lives of the Alliance members one by one. Lin falls. There's only one left. Lucky is going to have to pull a miracle out here, and they're just being juggled around. Never fight Takeda inside their minds because you're just too clustered and you're going to eat so much damage. That was pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal.
I mean, for Alliance, though, they were kind of stuck, right? They didn't have anywhere that they could really run to. And if they'd been able to find a connection of a Viper ultimate, that same advantage of the scenery that played so well into TE's hands with that Takeda is there for the Viper as well. As we're going to get to see how J-Team was able to come in with those kills potentially. As a 101 TM breaking out of that Viper stun, now immediately pushing on back to these members of GG. Really good Temmie with connection as well for Eagle to be able to grab these members of GG and just hold them in position so that J-Team can turn their focus to the players around them entirely unimpeded. And they will be able to find those free kills as we can have a look at OUG fighting outside of the zone. Unfortunately, it looked like they were chasing down XCG Xiaonan, who had no choice but to just throw the Viper to the wolves so that Nai HQ could try to make a break for freedom towards the shop and maybe pick up a rebuff charm. As JL having a little bit of a slower game, also running alongside that ACOS. Going to, actually do pop that no ult zone just so that they're going to be able to free up a little bit of time to go through that Rift Titan. I want to talk about Ventus for just a little bit longer because it should be noted, Ventus were one of the teams in the Last Chance qualifiers who actually experimented with ACOS. In fact, they were the only team who experimented with ACOS. And it didn't look great, I'm not going to lie, but you can see that in the downtime that they've had between Last Chance qualifiers and these finals, they have been working on getting the coordination of this ACOS composition down to an absolute art. And it means that Sanzi already has experience on the hero and understands exactly how to use the tech kit that Poopy was highlighting to an absolute devastating degree.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they picked it up very quickly. They practiced on it and they're looking really, really formidable with it. J-Team are got eyes on right now, just on the edge of Sunwing's Rest, are getting themselves into this realm of Yang. They want to be taking it. They're going to be taking up JJH because they quick look at their Soul Jades. Not the most equipped, but either way, I think they'll be pretty happy with this and see if they're going to be able to pull this win off versus JJH. Remember, J-Team, they need this game to go well for them if they want any hopes of catching up with the other teams who are starting to pull away from them on that top end of the table. As ZK opens up in the water, gets a clang down, does a fair amount of damage to his shield there. Has got the ultimate, is going to get the charge through. Godly takes a bunch of damage. Sandstorm comes out. ZK does eat a Takeda ult to himself, but gets the 3-man stagger back. Is going to get the answer back onto Eagle though. Caught out by the Wisp. Head to hits onto ZK. He's trying to dodge away. Catches out another F onto the members. Got one left in the tank, but in comes the counter from water. ZK switches out into another pole sword. Has still got that last charge. Has actually used it, sorry. Is going to get some damage off here for the moment as 101 TN's being caught out by the Hector once again. Finished up nice and simple. J-Team struggling, crumbling. Only ZK left, and he's got to somehow pull off the 1 versus 2. His health bar is liquefied, and JJH take the win.
Oh, that's tough. ZK actually threw out the blue focus on that pole sword twice. The first time he's able to get it past the parry, he baits the parry and then is able to throw the blue in front of it. the second time JJH have wised up to the antics. They know that the blue is being thrown and they are able to time the parry. And we do see that the backup pulse would come through to be able to put the blistering edge to work, but because ZK is so occupied, he hasn't actually been able to use the pulse sword to zone space for J-Team to be able to work with. As a result, he's not only removed from the fight with that Takeda ultimate, just doing very little that J-Team are looking for to just lock a kill down before the ultimate runs out. He's not in position to be able to peel when a lot of aggression comes down onto his two teammates with that pulse sword to create that space and stop JJH from just stagger locking those members. And J-Team now are in a really rough spot, not only in terms of the leaderboard, we've talked about it, but so much of the post-match. They need to have a good game. They're going to be needing to pick up a good fight in the next 3 minutes and a half. Otherwise, they're going to go down to Yang depletion.
Yeah, they actually just got a bounty on JJH as well, so they know where they are if they want to go try and take that rematch, but maybe not quite feeling that. They do see GG. Gonna catch Miskir with the grapple there from ZK. Has got his ultimate up and ready to go when he wants to fire that out, but they're actually deciding not to take the fight versus GG and maybe actually looking to try and get some revenge on JJH. They know where they are, but that's 3 minutes now at this point. This is risky. This is real risky from them, but they're going for it.
Well, not only is it risky because it's taking them longer to actually be able to push onto this team, they know that there's another team in the area. So if they try and run away from JJH now, they're going to be going into a third party. If they take too long against JJH, they're going to go into a third party.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, ZK already catches onto Water. Water loses a lot of HP immediately, throws down the ultimate himself. ZK's been caught, trying to get some damage off. Water's already caught J-Team. This is a much cleaner fight this time around, as Godly getting himself chunked out. ZK keeping the pressure up onto him, trying to avoid out the wisps this time. Godly just can't move. J-Team, they look like a different team from the last fight, last time they fought these guys. Godly chunked, Godly healing up as much as possible, but finally he is going to go down. There goes the Bird's Might on them, and JJH, as soon as they get the blessing, the buff from that Realm of Yang, they are instantly going to be losing it, as 101 TN will make quick work of it. Cleanse there for J-Team, 6 kills in. They're going to be happy with that. Probably not the way it went about, but at least they do walk away with those extra kills, and they don't have that debuff on anymore.
It feels as well that they immediately diverted to JJH because they understood the composition that JJH were running. And you can see that adaptation coming through onto J-Team. They understand they have to find those kills and that fight win quickly, not just for the Yang depletion, but also for that potential third party to prevent it from coming into play. And so they just throw in the Temi lockdown immediately, pushing onto one player and finding that numbers advantage that they're looking for, as Ventus are able again to put this ACOS to such devastating impact. As we are going to see Alliance having to use Lucky's Yoda ultimate to try and clean a little bit of space away from Ventus's follow-up. Onto that, the WX98 with the full meter dump on the nunchucks. Only has to use half of it. He's got Dragon's Rush. That nunchuck charge is building up by the second, and he knows exactly where Alliance are trying to scamper away to. The Wuchen TP gone. Lucky's got a bounty on his head as well, and Ventus are coming to collect the swap onto the range just to try and deter Ventus, break the shield so that Zwan can come in with this Viper ultimate. Stands incredibly close, is not going to actually be able to break away, and it forces Ventus into using that Wuchen TP. Now that Alliance have bought themselves a little bit of time, they can look to try to lengthen the distance between themselves and Ventus, who were immediately coming back in, understanding that both the Wuchen TP and the Viper ultimate are going to be on cooldown for Alliance. And Ventus, despite just using that Wuchen TP, they've still got WX98's Viper ultimate. They've been able to isolate Zwan, chasing him away from the pack, and it looks like Alliance are just conceding this one player. No, Lin comes back in. He steps in front of WX98, looking for the peel, looking to create an opening so that Zwan can actually try and turn this onto Ventus. WX98 is pummeled between the two members. All Alliance is able with the nunchucks to escape a little bit, but Lin with the bow shot finishes him off, and it was looking so good for Ventus, but Alliance turned the fight on its head, baiting Ventus into thinking that there's a free kill, and then immediately rubber banding back in as Lucky charges up the Scarerush, goes straight into the
No way!
He's got the Yoda ultimate to be able to finish off Sandy and the Eagles for 2.
No way did they pull that off. Lin jumping in singing "I Can Be Your Hero, Baby" and actually saves the day for Alliance. Zorn does go down. but they are going to be able to pick him up in the nick of time. JJH are in the area, though, so they need to run real quick. But Alliance, the EU team, coming up huge there, and actually 5 kills deep into this game. Absolutely phenomenal stuff from them. They get all of the good armor from Ventus as well, and Ventus are out of this lobby. That is horrifically bad for them. JL might be getting their hands on a free Realm of Yang unless J-Team are feeling it. They are waiting it out as long as possible, seeing if someone wants to come in and maybe third party, or maybe they just don't want to risk it again. They did lose their last one, but they are waiting it out as much. They are really waiting for this, actually.
I mean, look at that comp. They're running a Temi. And we've talked in length about how Temi can be problematic in running into a Gate of Yang, but J-Team decide to take it.
Yeah, they lost their last one. Let's see if they can win this one. This time they are playing into a Yuashen version of the Akos comp. As jumping down, ZK immediately strips AS of his armor. Lovely charge collect there. Gets the ultimate down, and AS is just going to be put in the blender. Throws his ultimate out, but if that Akos goes down quick, this is going to be problematic. It's caught up in the air, trying to jump away for the moment. Transform comes out from one thing. ZK is taking a whole bunch of damages. They're trying to get onto AS, not letting him get an opportunity to hit. Next chunk of the ult comes out from ZK. Gets a whole bunch of additional damage onto AS. They're trying to play interrupts. This Yuashen is buying time here. The health bar's going very low on ZK, but same for AS and ZU. Once one thing times out, ZK should be okay. He's trying to just dodge away, but he's being staggered, he's being pinned, he's being locked down. But the turnaround here for J-Team is ZU goes down. They're almost through the Yuashen transformation, and ZK has refused to die. Eagle jumping up in the sky. One thing caught out, and he is the only one left standing. J-Team with a phenomenal victory here inside the realm of Yang, and they're making it look so good.
They turned it around. It looked really rough. But Eagle and ZK, 101 and just refuse, like you said, to die. The fact that ZK just does not go down and continues to be able to hound pressure from the sidelines with that pistol, chipping away at those armors is so huge for J-Team, because not only does that mean that they're going to be able to not have to worry about finding Yang depletion soul blooms, they are also able to scale into the next area of this match because they're able to immediately open up a box and boost their armor that they were running, because they needed that loot. They needed it badly. Not as much when you're running that monk composition, because obviously Decatur Ultimate doesn't scale with it, but you still want that lifeline to be able to pressure the teams around you. Where maybe if a team like TE runs into a team and they see blue armor, they see, okay, green light, we can immediately crush them like gnats. If they see legendary armor, they're going to second guess.
So, PB, what do you think the J-Team did right in that second Realm of Yang, which they did wrong in the first?
Ult tempo. Definitely, if you noticed, especially like when they came back and fought, I can't think of the name of the team, but after they had lost, they had jumped on the exact same team after the bounty.
JJH?
JJH. They initiated a lot quicker. All the ults were down, and the split. The positioning of the other team was also a factor, but mainly how quickly they're using their ults. That sets like you don't. There are times when you want to be the second ult, but there are also times when you want to be the first ult. And in those situations, where they won, they were the first ults that were used. So that's definitely plays a big part in the tempo of the ults being used and them being able to come out on top.
That's been a problem for J-Team in the past as well. I'm sure, Jake, you remember the days of Gates of Yang where we would see Yuasians just hold on to that second transformation and allow double grabs to come through. J-Team was one of the most problematic when it came to holding on to those ultimates. So good to see that they've identified that they need to sometimes be that aggressive team making that first move.
And that to me screams that actually what happened there was they kind of, after that last loss, figured out immediately what went wrong, and it's just they actioned it so quickly. That's definitely a discussion they had in the heat of the game. You know, they okay, we took JJH this time out because we were smart about how we ran that fight, and that's exactly what they then went and did into the next round of Yang. Also, another thing which we did miss out, they didn't keep getting caught by Tammy Wisps. Like, there was probably like 3 Tammy Whisper connected in that first round of Yang, right? Like, they just kept eating them. JL are currently chasing one for a kill here. They've just got the Akos and the Decatur comp going here. They really need to find some kills, and I say that as they kill Moon, so they will be able to cleanse one person with the debuff. The rest of the team are keeping the pressure up onto the remainder members of Bowder. JL just healing up as quick as possible and then wanting to keep this chase going. They have caught out on to Malman, so Malman will be next up in the meat blender. That is JL. Another cleanse comes through. They're going to make sure that goes over to one of their players. As WBG Jing chasing Bowder's Lion TT and herding them towards JL, almost to help them get that cleanse going. As J-Team, though, are in the area and will be looking to maybe pick up a couple of kills. The cleanse comes in. JL are going to be happy off the back of that one as WBG chasing up forward. So with a lot of ultimates committed by JL, they just want to disengage. They do not want to be hanging around. As
One thing missed the Soul Bloom.
Oh no!
One thing missed the Soul Bloom. The kill came through from JL, but he isn't actually able to pick up the Soul Bloom because OUG intrude in and they all just have to book it.
That is really bad. That is really bad for them. They're going to try and heal up and get away, but like you said, they need to keep the fight going now, but they've got that Soul Bloom that hasn't been quite ticked off, and unfortunately, it does look like one thing with 18 seconds left.
Yeah, he had to ult too to be able to escape, but he's about to go down. He's going to have to drop ultimate early if he wants to be able to pick up that Soul Bloom. He's just leading all of these players in the area away from his two teammates, but look at the loot. Because they'd lost that Gate of Yang, JL are still sitting on blue armor.
Yeah, they are a little bit weak, unfortunately, and down they go. Nice and easy kill there for JJH. Bit of a freebie. A rebirth charm was picked up, so they will be able to get ZU back. It's not the end of the world for them, but the problem is we're very late in the game. If they can find a place to go get that revive off, the major problem they're going to have is they're going to have no gear. Like, you're spawning in with grey gear at this point. You're going to be significantly weaker than the rest of the lobby.
They're not running Tami either. Because they fielded both the UH Indicator and Echoes, they don't have an ultimate to just lock down Amara's Blessing and immediately pick up for being this late in the game without gear. And speaking about without gear, well, maybe JJH have stolen it all because, oh my goodness, the yellow on this team. They are making it rain soldiers.
That's a dream setup, that is. Ever I've seen one. I do feel that like this revive might be a little hard to pull off when TE is standing next to the Soul Altar. Like, how are you going to be able to pick a teammate up?
Honestly, you're not. They actually have straight AS.
No, and one thing. Okay, that's not getting used. J-Team actually keeping a little bit of extra damage out there. Are just going to force them away. They're going to grab whatever they can off the back of AS's Karen. There's 1-on-1 TN also making his way back to J-Team. J-Team, we said they needed a good game. They are having that good game. They're going to go do a little bit more shopping, grab as good a loot and as good a setup as they can before this game does come to an end. 7 minutes left on that timer. And it's going to be, actually, with 25 people in the lobby, I expect this to go a little bit more slow for the next couple of moments, just while the circle's fairly large. It's fairly easy for these teams, especially with the current terrain, to kind of find a tree or a house to scuttle in and just kind of wait out the storm of the upcoming action.
Again, it's sort of everyone eyeing up that estate that they want to be in control of when the ultimates come through. You want somewhere where you're going to be safe from the poke phase or the buccaneer phase, as you like to call it, as we're seeing all of the swaps come through. TE with the musket this time around. I haven't seen them actually pick up a flamer just yet, so that's a little bit of an anomaly for TE today. But hey, Morris Blessing still spawning up, so maybe they're able to pick one up there. But for Takedas, they want to be able to find these buildings. They want to be able to find space where they're going to be able to hole up and hold on to that ultimate for as long as possible. For the Viper, again, high ground. JL, by the way, it felt like we're actually able to get that rebirth off. This is why it is unfortunately so tragic that they lose 2 players in the process. They are still in this lobby, but it's only that Takeda left alive since they had to sacrifice those players when they went to the Soul Altar and were subsequently caught out by all of the teams surrounding it, waiting for an easy kill to come their way. There's J-Team, a little bit more out in the open at the moment, not really pushing towards the central belt of the zone, sticking towards the fringes, which is something that we have seen J-Team prefer to do, since it keeps them out of focus from all of the teams around them, and make sure that they're able to hold on to resources for as long as possible, as OUG are just threatening the space, essentially shouting out, hey, we have Dragon's Rush, don't come close, otherwise you're going to be put in a blender.
Oh, the waiting game starts. Lint does a little bit of poke as they try to get themselves set up in a tree. But it is very much just a waiting game at this point. And having a quick look at the overall scores, TE currently have 3 kills. OUG have 3, but J Team are leading the charge with those 10 kills. And if this game continues to go well and they win the lobby, then the sweat may start for TE going into those last 2 games. I did say that J Team are pretty horrendous at horror off though, so there is at least probably a little bit of comfort going, okay, well, next map's horror off, but TE, there's still plenty of people left in this lobby for them to kill, so keep our eye on how they actually play out these next few stages. Is just using those multi-shot bow with the flame arrow, sorry, onto Sleepwalker. Not Sleepwalker, onto who's up the tree? I've forgotten already.
Water.
Thank you, Water.
Which is ironic because his namesake should probably put out the fire tick,
yeah.
but unfortunately not so much as OUG's SS with the Viper ultimate not actually able to find the lockdown onto JLZU, but has done enough to be able to push them back. As it is just coming down to who wants to control what space. Whoosh and TP coming out to be able to evacuate from the top of tree. And again, now used another team using it. The problem here is that when you use that Witch and TP, you don't know where you're TPing to a lot of the time with how fast you have to be at choosing your location. As Yao Liui is going to actually be able to use that Viper Stun. Will be able to connect onto 2, but it's so low in health that he just has to scroll back up the tree. And it instead becomes an opening for EWG's Uran to poach away the kill, as Sleepwalker is going to be able to get TP'd onto the top of the building roof with that Viper ultimate, looking to lock the players down on the low who are trying to take advantage of the Morris Blessing. Won't be able to find a kill, but is doing a very good job of securing that space for WBG. But PP on the low ground goes into the blender that is a coordinated full free stack of J Team and disappears.
Yeah, that's going to be the 11th kill over the side of J Team. Once again, TE with golden armor and flamers. I don't understand how they do this, but they always consistently have flamers every game today. They've been able to pick one up and just using that to kind of buy themselves a little bit of space. A quick old weapon switch in the cannon heal up there for VVV. As it's just going to find an opportunity. ZK, the rest of J Team quite happily actually holding on to this high ground. Getting the cannon shots down, building those rage bars up as much as possible. ZK does eat a cannon shot for the face and a repeating crossbow that follows. So he may be forced off that high ground now, unable to really do too much about that as JJH take themselves to top as ZK jumps in, tries to ego check them, as Booby told us about earlier. Is able to actually successfully ego check them, but at the cost of most of his golden armor, is going to use this as an opportunity to heal up behind the wall and get some of that armor back, as he's just keeping the cannon fire going as LYD losing a fair amount of HP here. Miss Kia stepping up, there comes the flamer just to kind of cook away a little bit of Miss Kia's HP. 2.5 minutes left on this lobby as Lucky is being toasted inside the zone, and down he goes. VVV able to secure that kill there with the final tick of the flamer, as JL are eliminated from the lobby very early on at this point. There's still 8 other teams left in the lobby, as it does look like WBG and the rest of Sleepwalker have jumped in on to the TE boys, but they're going to get knocked out of this game. Not going to be able to do too much here. JJH actually taking himself a fight with a J Team, but in comes a massive lockdown from SS onto the whole lobby. Huge lockdown. The King doesn't actually close up onto J Team, as they do take out the JJH members. Water does go down. DC101TN go down to TE. LYD able to pick that kill up, as ZK has not got his ultimate ready and available yet. He's going to get himself bot back into the zone, and it's all about TE, who are starting to take over this entire circle. They have so much control, so much command over this circle. Quick Wushen ultimate out from OUG to get them out, but they are going to lose SS in the process to the cannon, and Eagle goes down. J Team are eliminated, and TE, they can now start to round up these kills and close out this win. They've pretty much got it as a surefire thing. EWG ping out, and TE need to be stopped. They're becoming a problem for everybody here. The King is caught as he jumps away to safety. VVV still feeling very comfortable. Got a full health bar. His armor's been stripped away, but he is going to heal up on the low ground while he has the opportunity. Uran goes down to the zone as LYD finishes him up, and this is just a couple of players to finish up here for the side of TE. They're playing this so flawlessly, this final circle, and the Flamer coming in. GG are eliminated, and TE creep ever closer to getting another win under their belt in these grand finals. And it's been just a phenomenal performance from them. The tree is slowly but surely fading away from the players. They can't stay airborne for long. And as they drop down, they drop into the jaws of the side of TE. Chalui gonna try the 1v3. It's not gonna happen. And TE take the win.